About 3 years ago, I was approached by two of my administrators, one who is here. Wave, hello. Yes, she is awesome. And I was actually at a different school at the time, but they said, you know, we have got to counter this thing that is happening out there in education. We have got to do something about this, because the career that we love, that we have invested our soul in, is getting a bad rap. And we have to do something about that. And so I'm like, well, what are we going to do? And they said, we're going to start a teaching academy. And I'm like, yes! So how do you do that? And they looked at me and they said, we don't know, but we are offering you the job. And I said, I am all in. And so literally, the first day, we have just finished our third year. The first day, I had 37 students walk in, and several of those kids are here and in the set. There are kids back here. 37 kids walked in. They walked into the room. They walked into the room, and they looked around, and they walked out. And then they walked back in, and they said, is this the teaching academy? I said, mm-hmm. And they looked around, they got very still, because they walked into a room the way that a teacher walks into a room. It was a mess. There was nothing put up. It was a mess. There were no chairs out, there was nothing. And I looked at them, their introduction was, first thing you need to know about being a teacher is there is no little magic genie that walks in and takes care of your room, so get busy. So that is the core of why our program works. It is authentic, it is hands-on, and it is something that it's not a classroom environment, it is a family. We are out to change the face of education. And it is so exciting. I cannot tell you what it is to now walk into classrooms. My classes, we don't have 37 anymore. We have over 100 in 3 years who want to be teachers. Yes. They bring so much energy. They have so many ideas. And just very, very quickly, I'm going to share one little brief story, because it was like a changing moment for me. We do a lot of different programs. One of the programs, I know several of you are familiar with Teen Trendsetters, where you go into an elementary school and they hand you a group of kids and they say, okay, these kids are first, second, third grade. What they did not tell us was that these kids do not know their ABCs. And our job was to help teach them to read. And so, I mean, this is authentic work. And a lot of times we would leave like, you know, it's great. I have a secondary education degree, and the kids would say, well, what do we do? And I'm like, you know, YouTube it, I don't know. I don't know. So, one particular day, there were a couple of little girls, and they just would not settle down. They just would not settle down. And one of my students looked at these kids and said, and this is a rarity in Florida. The ones of you from Florida, you're going to know what I mean. Said, you see that hill? That's the rarity, a hill in Florida. You see that hill? If you will read, we will roll down that hill. These little girls, they got their books out, they started reading, and they rolled down that hill. That's the energy that we have to have in education. We have to think radically. It's got be out there, and we can't let that make us afraid. The other thing that I wanted to say is that the most precious part of our academy is the value that we place on inclusion. And inclusion is just something that is so important. We not only go out and include and encourage kids in the school, we model it in our academy. You're going to be watching a puppet show today that is called No Strings Attached, and it is about the variety of students in classes. But every puppet that you're going to see today is patterned after a student in our academy. We reach out and bring in. And so when you see the different personalities, you're going to go, wow, there's a blind puppet. That's Peyton. We have a student named Peyton who is blind. We have learned so much from having this student in our academy. We have every exceptionality you can imagine of students who are in there. And so our students, in fact, this year, and this is a really cool thing, this year we had a student, Alec, and our students absolutely love him. Woo! Right, guys? Do we love Alec? Alec is mid-range on the autism spectrum. Alec was our prom king this year. Yes. We are very excited about sharing the River Ridge High School New Teacher Academy version of what we do to model inclusion. Thank you.
Accept the reality of what?
I didn't say accept the reality. I said exceptionality. You know, like it may take a person more time to do something, like reading a book or walking in class.
Hey, who's the new kid?
Oh, that's Quentin.
Why is he looking at the wall? That's weird. Oh no, Quentin is staring at Iggy. Iggy isn't going to like that.
He isn't staring at Iggy, and he isn't looking at the walls. Quentin's blind. He can't see. Iggy isn't being nice. He's ignoring Quentin.
Well, I'm not going to ignore him. I'm going to go play ball with him. Hey, Quentin, catch.
He can't see.
I can't see, but you know, I can hear you two, right?
Hi, I'm Brendan. Who is your teacher?
Mrs. Sackman.
Miss Sackman. What does she look like?
I'm not really sure, because I'm blind. She's really nice. Hey, who's that other kid over there? I can hear someone really big over there breathing.
You mean Iggy? Iggy isn't a kid. Iggy's a giraffe. He just sticks out because he's so big.
And me.
He isn't really mean. He just doesn't like people who are different.
Well, that's me.
We just stay away from him. Sometimes Iggy's a bully.
Maybe Iggy needs friends.
Hey, Iggy, this new kid wants to be friends with you. Iggy! I don't think he wants to be friends. He kind of looks down on people because they have disabilities or exceptionalities, or people are just different.
Why does he look down on people?
We don't know.
So who else is in your class?
Hey guys, come meet Quentin. Hi guys, what you doing? I wanted you to meet my new friend Quentin.
Hi, Quentin. I'm Christina.
Hi, Christina.
Does Quentin think Iggy is a girl?
You have to excuse Ellie. She has a traumatic brain injury when she was younger. Sometimes she doesn't get what we when we say things. Since she doesn't look any different, most people don't even know.
So what you're saying is that most people are sort of blind to his disability?
Hey, Quentin, we're over here. I would stay away from Iggy. He probably isn't a very good person to try to make friends with. He says mean things to me.
Why does Iggy say mean things to you?
Iggy looks down on people like us.
Like you two? Why? I think you two are nice.
Hi, there are actually the three of us. My name is Shauna. I don't like to say much, especially if Iggy is around.
Why does Shauna talk like that?
Shauna talks like that.
It's okay, Christina. I'll answer. Many times when people realize that it's hard for me to talk, they instantly want to answer quick questions from me. It makes me feel bad because there isn't anything wrong with my brain. I just stutter. I go to speech, and that helps a lot.
Shauna, I'm so proud of you for speaking for yourself. I shouldn't have tried to answer for you. I just know it's hard for you to talk, and I wanted to help.
That's okay. You and Ellie are my friends. Many times, people think answering for a person who stutters is the way to help. But actually just being patient as I answer questions, it is the best way to help. You don't think Iggy heard me talk to you? He looks down on me because I stuttered.
Iggy seems like he may have some behavioral issues of his own. Maybe we need to help him with his own exceptionality.
Help Iggy? No!
No, Quentin. He isn't very nice.
That is exactly why we need to help him. I believe a lot of people are blind in a way to how they should treat people with disabilities. We can't expect people to treat us all better if we don't treat others the way we want to be treated.
But Quentin, you're the only person I know who is blind.
Ellie, I am physically blind, but some people are also sort of blind in the understanding of people with disabilities. Let me explain this better. Ellie, when you had your brain injury from playing basketball, did your face or arms change? So how you respond has changed, but your outward appearance didn't change, right? And Christina, when you're wearing pants, no one can see the braces on your legs, right? Right, Christina?
Quentin, how did you even know I'm wearing leg braces? No one said anything about my leg braces.
I heard them clicking together, so I just assumed you had an orthopedic exceptionality, and that is why you think that Iggy looks down on you. To you, Christina, is that why Iggy looks down on you?
Oh, I forgot. You can't see me shaking my head. I need to say my response. I do think that's why Iggy looks down on me and is mean to me.
So really, sometimes a lot of people are sort of blind to what other people go through. Maybe we should help them see we're just people, just like them, but we just have disabilities. We all still want to be friends, all right?
Did somebody say people and friends? I love people.
We know, Brendan.
I love people. Except for Iggy.
Maybe Iggy acts that way because he has been left out, and people have been mean to him.
Maybe that is true.
Next, may the best of your todays be the worst of your tomorrows. Whoa, may the road less paved be the road that you follow. Oh, well, here's to the hearts that you're gonna break. Here's to the lives that you're gonna change. Here's to the infinite possible ways to love you. I want you to have it. Here's to the good times we gonna have. You don't need money, you got free pass. Here's to the fact that I'd be sad without you. I want you to have it all. I want you to have it all.
Finally, Iggy's gone. So I've been listening. Let's talk about these exceptionalities.
Do you know how many exceptionalities there are?
13. Did you guys say 13?
Not me.
Nope, that must have been Carolyn. She is really, really smart. She knows everything.
Well, I don't know everything, but I do retain a lot of information.
Did she say retainer? My sister has a retainer for her teeth.
Not that kind of retainer, Brendan. What I mean is that I retain or remember a lot of information. Honestly, it is good sometimes, and it is bad sometimes. People don't always want to know everything I know. I have to work on recognizing social cues because even though I'm intellectually gifted, I am also on the autism spectrum. So sometimes what I think is really important for me may not be important to my friends. Sometimes I don't pick up on the cues of when people are not really interested in what I'm sharing.
Why did she say Q? L-M-N-O-P, Q-R-S.
Not the letter Q. Karen means cues, like signals. Like when a person gets lost in what he's trying to say and someone's hints, like I'm hinting right now, Brendan.
Carolyn, we need to learn more about these exceptionalities. Can you help me name the 13 exceptionalities? I'll start. Blind, that's 1. And deaf and blindness, that's 2.
You mean some people are blind and deaf?
Is that like David?
No, silly. David isn't blind. He's just deaf. So the deaf exceptionality is another one. What has David been up to? I haven't seen him in a while.
I've never seen him.
We sure use words in a funny way sometimes, don't we, Quentin? I would love to talk to David and see what he's up to. Hey, look! Is that David?
What did you just do?
I said hello to David in sign language.
Wow! What did I just do?
You didn't say anything, silly. You just moved your hands like crazy. When you learn sign language, you have certain ways of showing letters and words so you communicate real words.
Can you teach me later? I want to be able to say hello to everyone, including David.
Okay, guys, so let's get back to building our list.
So, while you're having a little conversation, off topic, may I add, I looked up the 13 exceptionalities. Let's try to name them, but I can fill in the ones left out.
Okay. 1, blind. 2, blind and deaf. 3, deafness.
4, autism. And autism may include level 1 autism, like me, or level 2 or level 3 autism, which require more support. There is something called the spectrum, which is sort of like a scale to determine where a person with autism falls.
Falls? Like Christina falls sometimes? Is that what you mean?
No, I don't mean falls like falls down, like a person with an orthopedic exceptionality. I mean where a person is or falls on the spectrum or scale of being high-functioning autism, like me, or to requiring very substantial support.
You not only explained what autism is, but you listed another exceptionality.
I did?
Yes. You said orthopedic impairment and autism.
So let's see. We have 1, blind. 2, deaf and blind. 3, deaf. 4, autism. And 5, orthopedic impairment. What else?
How about an emotional disturbance?
What's an emotional disturbance, Carolyn?
An emotional disturbance is a condition over a long period of time that affects a child's educational performance. It could be several things, like an inability to learn or an inability to build or maintain a relationship with peers and teachers. Lots of times, a person with this exceptionality has a general mood of unhappiness or depression.
Maybe that's what Iggy has. Iggy isn't just looking down on people. He might have an exceptionality for an emotional disturbance. We need to help him.
So, blind, deaf and blind, deafness, autism, orthopedic impairment, and emotional disturbance. What else, Carolyn?
Hey, don't forget about Shauna. Remember Shauna stutters, but her speech classes are helping so much. What exceptionality is that?
That's a speech or language impairment.
And Ellie had that basketball incident that had affected her ability to think quickly. What's that?
The speed in which you think is called your processing. It is harder for Ellie to process information quickly, but she is getting better every day. That is a result of her traumatic brain injury. Put that on the list.
What? I didn't hear what you said, because sometimes, if it's noisy, I can't really hear it. Have you ever noticed that I wear a tiny device in my ear? It's a hearing aid.
Let me see. Ha! Gotcha. So since pretty much everyone we know seems to have some form of exceptionality, everyone should be more accepting of others.
Hi guys, what's up? Has anyone seen Iggy?
I haven't. He was out here earlier, but Iggy left when I was talking about that maybe he acts that way because he has been left out and people have been mean to him.
I've never thought about that. I've been so busy avoiding him so he wouldn't be mean that I never spent any time with him to even give him a chance to be nice.
I think most people always talk about that he's mean. So maybe he's mean because that is what he thinks people expect. If you have an emotional disturbance exceptionality, that can be really confusing.
And I think he has a hard time with his schoolwork. One day, he didn't know I was listening, and I heard him trying to read out loud. He got stuck a lot. I should have helped him. But instead, I ran away.
I heard his dad say some really mean things to him. He calls him stupid and ignorant.
What does ignorant mean, Carolyn?
Ignorant means lacking knowledge or intelligence or not very smart.
You mean his dad is calling him Iggy because Iggy means ignorant? Iggy is a mean name given to him by his own father.
That's so mean.
What's mean?
Iggy is a mean name his dad has given him because he's ignorant. Does anyone know Iggy's real name?
John, who said that?
other days because sometimes I have seizures. The seizures I have make me sad because they make me feel that I am different. I just want to be like other kids, but I'm sick a lot. I have what is called a pulmonary disorder, which is a health impairment that limits my strength. But I heard the teacher call Iggy John.
That needs to go on the list.
John needs to go on the list? Don't put John on the list. What list?
John isn't going on the list. John's exceptionality is going on the list.
I don't think I understand. Is John going on the list?
Who's John?
John is Iggy's real name. Iggy is short for ignorant, which is a word that means not very smart. It's a mean name, and we have to change it. John, has an exceptionality. He has an emotional disturbance, but he also has a specific learning disability that interferes with him being able to read. No wonder he has been mean. He wasn't really looking down on people. He was just feeling down about himself and was just lashing out at others.
If he has both an emotional disturbance and a specific learning disability, he falls under a new category called multiple disability, which can cause such severe educational needs that cannot be accommodated in the special education program. That is why he's not in our class.
I always thought he was in trouble and in the principal's office.
I can see now why John, has been mean to others. He is struggling with so much.
So, let's see what's on our list.
I'll start. Blindness, like me. 2, deaf and blindness. 3, deafness, like David.
And 4, autism, like me. 5, orthopedic exceptionalities, like Christina.
And 6, emotional disturbance. 7, specific learning disability. And 8, multiple disabilities, like Iggy. Oh, I meant John.
And 9, traumatic brain injury, like Ellie.
And 10, speech or language impairment, like Shauna. It must have taken her a lot of courage to speak out like she did today. And don't forget about Amanda. She has what is called other health impairments, and it affects her strength. That is number 11. Amanda, because of Amanda's seizures. I bet she gets lonely sometimes, don't you?
I'm sure we need to be a better friend for Amanda. Maybe we can take turns staying in with her on days she has to stay in. And maybe we can invite John to sit with us, if he's in there. Carolyn, what have we left off?
Yours. Oh, yeah. Hearing impaired. That's 12. There's just one more. Number 13 is intellectual disability, which used to be referred to as mental retardation. I'm not a big fan of that term, but it means someone is intellectually delayed in their learning.
You are so smart, Carolyn. You should write a law about all of these and include in the law that people just need to be kind when encountering people with exceptionalities.
Actually, there already is a law, at least for part of what you said. It is called IDEA, Individuals with Disabilities Education Act. It offers a protection for people with these exceptionalities. I guess the kindness part has to be up to us to teach.
What is all that noise? I say John, but what is he doing?
We all decided that we should not be labeled by our exceptionalities. Instead, we each should be known by our kindness.